Hey, how you doing, folks? It's DecepySwag, and if you can't tell by the sound of my voice, I'm sick. Sick as a dog right now at the time of recording this. I have the suds from SpongeBob, the Pokevirus from the old Pokemon games, whatever analogy you could think of, I have it. But the show must go on, and I have a duty to uphold to you all. So with that being said, today we're going to be talking about the Fatal Fury COTW beta, my full review of it, thoughts, concerns, and overall feelings. And as always, before we get into today's topic, you already know the drill. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And please, don't forget to tap the bell icon. We're almost here to 2,000 subs, so let's keep that going. Now, with that out of the way, and I got my cup of hot tea with me, let's get right into this review. Fatal Fury COTW beta has just ended, and it has definitely given a lot of folks some mixed reactions. A lot of good, a lot of bad, and a lot of in-between feelings. For this review, I'm going to be breaking things up into two sections. First part being the good, what I liked about the beta and enjoyed, and then the second part being the not so good, what needs improving and how to fix those. I'm not one to want to give problems without any solutions. So let's start with the things I did enjoy, and that being one of the music. By now you should know just how much I love music, and especially in gaming. And if you're new and this is your first time watching me, let me tell you, music in fighting games is an essential part in giving a first impression. It's what helps provide a fighter its core in presenting its identity, and what makes that fighter unique in its aesthetic. And in this regard for Fatal Fury, SNK once again knocked it out of the park. The song you hear playing right now is from the main menu theme of the beta. SNK decided that they would go for a jazzy vibe to help separate it from the King of Fighters, which I think they did a great job with. This was even stated by the sound director himself over on Twitter. I can't really recall a time where I have been disappointed by an SNK soundtrack, and luckily this game won't be the start. Now, we can all be honest and agree that COTW is not the most graphically intense fighter out there. It doesn't go for the hyper-realistic look that a lot of its competitors go for, like a Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6, so on and so forth. Yet, in doing so, SNK decided to go the opposite route and focus more on art style, aesthetic, and they nailed it. This game is without a doubt SNK's prettiest fighter yet in their post-Sprite era. The colors are very vibrant and saturated, but not to a disgusting degree, but just enough to really pop out at you. Like, for instance, when you watch a match and you look at the characters, the first thing you notice about the characters are their distinctive colors. Rock's black pants and red jacket, Terry's brown bomber jacket with the blue jeans and blue gloves, so on and so forth. The stages as well are very visually stunning as well, especially Beach and A's stage with the giant scope of colors and everything on display with the workers and her crewmates along with the giant submarine that's on the shore. I finally understand what people meant when they said the game is even prettier in person, and now when you get your hands on it, I can see that they're right. Something that I was really hoping SNK would improve on was their tutorials. Coming from KOF 15, I was definitely hoping that they learned their lesson and tried to expand more on mechanics, and I think they did just that. Personally, I think they did a good job of explaining the mechanics of the game and how things work. Of course, it doesn't go super in depth with things, but it does explain things well enough to make it understandable why you would do these certain actions and how they work. Next up, we got lobbies. Now, lobbies were a big thing we were curious about on how SNK will handle them. We did not want a repeat of KOF 15 lobby or Sam shows. The holy grail of lobbies has been KOF 14, and I'm happy to say we have those again. Different pods for different functions happening at the same time, which allows ways for more folks to play at a time rather than waiting for a single set to finish. Plus, they added this cool feature where the lobby host gets to keep their seat. Now, there were a couple things that I do have issues with, but that'll get addressed in the second part of the video. Finally, we have the gameplay. Now, the gameplay, this joint is fun as hell. I know that there are a lot of folks that maybe were a bit standoffish with KOF because of the 3 characters and the 4 jumps and stuff, but rest assured, this is a 1v1 game with just 2 jumps, normal jump and hop. It has a ton of offensive stuff as well as defensive mechanics as well. Like I said, I've been sick, so sadly I didn't spend a ton of time playing as much as I like, but I did run a ton of lobby matches with some homies, and it was a great time. Majority of the time I played Kane. He's going to be my main for tournaments and events, but I did mess with some other characters, and again, gameplay was fantastic. Letting those just defense at those dire moments is really adrenaline inducing. Gameplay is 10 out of 10 for me personally, and the crazy part is, we didn't even have the rest of the cast, so just imagine what it's going to be like on launch when we have Dongwon, Tizart, Marco, and everyone else that wasn't available in this beta. I'm really hoping Freeman makes a base roster. He would be really sick in this game style. So we've talked about the things I liked and enjoyed, now comes the not so good things about the beta. With the good comes the bad, and from this beta there's definitely some things that need to be addressed. First thing is the online and matchmaking. During the course of the beta, a lot of folks have not had that enjoyable over time dealing with the netcode. When it works, but when the netcode has its low points, it definitely shows and can ruin the mood, and just overall ruin the match to a point it becomes unplayable. Couple that with high wait times for matches with other players and it becomes a recipe for a bad time. A lot of folks were having issues where they would get paired with folks outside of their region. For instance, I'm in North America, and a lot of times I would get paired with people from South America or even Europe. Luckily for me, those matches weren't too terrible, but you could definitely tell at times that they weren't in the same region as you. If Oda-san and SK do decide to go through with another beta, hopefully they can rectify this issue by adjusting the range of the matchmaking and maybe prioritize players closer to you rather than folks in further out areas. Also, adding the option for players to adjust their rollback would be amazing as well. Have players be able to set their own delay that works best for them rather than having the game set one permanently for everyone. This will help avoid any one-sided rollback that people were having in matches. Also, I can't forget to mention that even in between rounds, there are long loading with a black screen. If SNK could also speed this process up, or more preferably just frankly remove it entirely, then that would be fantastic and one less headache for players getting them into the next match quickly. The quicker folks get into the next matches, the better. Another major issue that came from this beta was sort of a combination, that being the lobbies and the interface. On the one hand, it's amazing with the style of lobby they gave us with it being similar to 14, but the problem is more so the functionality of joining lobbies, invites, and friend requests. Clicking things and selecting stuff has a clear display of lag, or I guess delay would be the better word in this situation. Instead of something happening once you click it, it happens after you release the button. That, along with the hassle of having to leave the lobby entirely to accept requests, lobby invites, and things of that nature, definitely dampens the mood to play and puts a huge amount of annoyance on the player, taking them away from the matches that they could have been playing in that time. Also, the issue of the lobby numbers not being able to be copy and pasted, along with there being a mouse cursor to navigate the lobby, yet for some reason you can't use your actual mouse on PC to move said cursor. Definitely bizarre. But a solution to these issues would be to make everything a lot more streamlined, simplify everything, and make it as easy as possible to get folks in a room together quickly, spruce up the lobby searches, make the interface a lot more snappy in response to button presses. Also, having things be more direct would help instead of having to leave entire lobbies to complete an action like adding friends' user codes. Even having the ability to invite from Steam would be welcome for PC, and the same with PlayStation using PSN and vice versa with Xbox. All in all, the beta wasn't perfect. By no means was it a 10 out of 10. Far from it, and I wouldn't feel right if I pretended it was. However, I wouldn't say it was terrible either. The issues I did lay out to you are things that can be fixed by SNK and could be adjusted with another beta. Oda-san has said that they're looking into doing possibly another beta, so maybe in a week or so we'll hear some good news. There have been talks from people saying that they should delay it, and I'll be honest, I doubt they'll delay the game. What I'm hoping for is that come release of the game is SNK maintains a very strong line of communication with everyone in the community, keep us posted with updates, what they're working on, what they're improving, timetables, etc. Having us all kept up to date with what they're doing would definitely help ease the process of fixing whatever issues the game is having. Again, hopefully this leads to an announcement of a second beta. Like I said, this beta was not perfect, but at the same time I can't sit here and tell you that this was just a horrible experience all around. The matches were fun, the gameplay is great, the music is amazing, the graphics are fantastic. All in all, the big issue is really just streamlining the functionality of the interface, make it easier for folks to add people, find rooms, etc, make it less of a hassle, spruce up the online, and spruce up the loading time. They do that, and I guarantee this game is going to take off on launch. But we reached that part of the video where I ask you all my favorite question, and that's, what are your thoughts? How was your experience with the beta? Who did you play? And did this make you more or less excited for the game's release? Comment down below and I'll try to get back to you. Till next time, I'm DecepySwag. Later.